Are you confused by all the conflicting nutritional advice? Are you ready to reshape your understanding of what a truly wholesome meal is? Stay tuned because today's episode might just be the key ingredient in your recipe for lifelong
And
health.
here's the thing, this is a diet that will allow you to supply nutrition, the proper nutrition to your body, allow you to heal, even reverse and overcome disease and prevent any new disease from coming on.
Okay.
All right. So number one thing that you have to do, you know what it is?
What? In your profession, you see a lot of confusion around food. Why is that?
Wow. I mean, as I reflect upon just how it used to be growing up. Now I was born in 1975, and right in the middle of 1975,
In the middle
and
of 1975,
in the middle of 1975, in the middle of
in
1970s,
the middle of a decade.
the middle of the decade. Yeah, exactly. Um, and back then, and growing up through the 80s and 90s, we ate foods. I mean, and I don't recall having so much processed foods. I won't say the foods were great, because we still had the cereals. We still have, I mean, a special treat for us is going to get a fast food meal, but it wasn't an everyday type of deal,
Right.
right? And so you think about all the processing and now everything's processed. And when you think about the processed foods, the added fats, the sugars, the salts, I mean, there's a complete desire. The whole industry, what's their motive is to kind of condition people to think, hey, if you eat my food, frosted flakes are great.
All right.
They're not great for you. I mean, it's so bad and causes a lot of problems. And yeah, so I think there's an industry change, a shift in how the food has been created, and really a loss of direction, if you will, around the family unit. We didn't eat always together, but we had dinner time, but we didn't make it a focus. So I think that those three things is kind of where the whole lifestyle or the focus on nutrition or food to provide nutrition to your body, not just to eat to satisfy hunger, has taken a shift. What about you? I mean, what do you think is kind of with your growing up and your experiences?
Right. I had the opposite. My mom cooked pretty much every day. She was a stay at home mom. She cooked every day. We had fresh food. Once a week, she would go to the market and buy all this fresh food. She would buy fresh meats, everything at the market. And she did go to the grocery store, but it wasn't the bulk of our shopping was at the market. And we would eat fresh food every day. My grandparents we all lived in the same compound area, and sometimes I'll go to their house and it's the same thing. It was just Chinese food. Um, and we ate together as a family every night. And for cereal, my mom, she would make bread, or we did have cereal for breakfast, but it wasn't often. We didn't really like that. But we ate totally different from how you ate growing
Yeah.
up.
I remember back in 2003, I moved to Spain, and they would have the panderías, homemade, fresh baked
Yeah,
bread. You walk into the store just for bread
bread, yeah.
itself,
Yeah.
and it was fantastic just to have those fresh options that weren't just so industrialized. Yeah, I was so confused. Even when I went through dental school and I was fed all this stuff, and I was so confused. And the reason why I was confused because you hear something and they tell you this is the way it needs to be, but yet you look at the results. Right? I look at my body. I mean, it's like this ain't right. And so if I keep going down this path, we got to change this, because what if I keep going down it and I'm not going to be able to see the kids get married or
Right.
my grandkids,
Right.
right? Travel together, and who grew up most of your childhood in Trinidad, moved to the United States, seen this I'm called transgression, this big food. Man, they have really done a number and pulled the wool over people's eyes when it comes to, you know, what it means to be healthy and the nutrition labels. They label all the sugars, different things. They hide it. I think it runs so deep. It's bigger than anyone could truly imagine.
Right.
I don't think you have to really understand it all to
Right.
actually, if you step back and look at what's being fed figuratively and literally in our mouth
Right.
and our brain.
Right.
And it's complete trash. I mean, it's like, for instance, a cow, right? If I were to inject a growth hormone in my bicep right now, right? A growth hormone, and you were to cut my bicep, I eat it. Don't you think you're going to eat the growth hormone as well?
Correct.
What's that going to do to your body?
Correct. Everything has an effect.
Yeah.
Everything, whether it's good or bad, it has an effect.
Yeah, it's horrible. Even like, we're so greenwashed when we think about fruit juices.
Yeah. You think it's healthy. It's fruit juice. It's healthy, right? But when you turn it around and look at the label, it went through such a such a process to get to that bottle that all the nutrients are gone
Yeah.
because they want to make it last longer. They want to make it taste good, and they want people the look of it, the cut to make it look good to get you to want to buy it. Because if they didn't put those colors in there, what would that look like?
Yeah.
After a while, right?
Just like talking about this, like I'm confused. And here we are, we can kind of know what's happening. So I can only imagine and feel how people think about or what they believe and the confusion they're experiencing with it.
I remember some years ago we went to Disney, and you look at people, and everybody around us was overweight, moving very slow in scooters, a ton of scooters, and the same people who are in scooters who could barely move. I remember one night we were waiting for the fireworks to start, and I saw this older couple. They look like they were in their 70s. They could have been maybe older. I don't know. But they were walking like they were on a mission.
Yeah.
You remember
Purpose.
that?
Oh, I remember that. They walk with purpose.
They were walking with purpose, and they were holding hands and walking. And the thing is, they were not walking slow, moving slow. They were walking upright. Their posture was phenomenal. And they were walking through that crowd, navigating that crowd, and just going. That's what you fuel your body to get to that point. And I'm pretty sure if we were to interview them, they would tell us, this is what I eat.
I remember that night so vividly because, Disney, let's just be real here. It's a great place. We enjoy taking our kids and having fun there. It's not the epitome of health.
No.
Whatsoever, from the lollipops, turkey legs, to the nice meals they have.
The
on
rich foods.
That's rich.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You walk away putting 10, 20 pounds on easy.
You do. You
Yeah.
do.
But the thing is, we kind of normalize that way it looks, and the way they stood out, it didn't look normal, but that actually is the normal way.
Yeah. Everybody wants to eat indulgently every day because, I work so hard, or whatever excuse they tell themselves. It tastes good, and you only live once. So whatever you want to tell yourself, everybody feels like they should eat indulgently all the time.
Yeah, and you can't. You have to eat more like the ancestors,
Correct.
right? Because at the end of the day, I think we all want to not live in a disease state. We want to stop any disease that we're having, also stop any development of any new diseases.
Correct.
Right, and that's what's the diet look like, right, for people to eat?
What do you think?
Yeah. So when you think about the ideal diet, and I don't even think I'll mention the word science because that word is completely just taking a beating. And really, there's so much bad stuff out there, bad journals, what have you. Through all my studying, here's what I know to be true.
Okay.
Is that you want a diet that is 75% carbs.
What kind of carbs? Because when people hear carbs, they're like,
Yeah, so I'm not talking about processed food stuff. Yeah.
Right.
All right. We're talking about
simple carbs. Yeah.
natural carbs. All right. And glucose is not a bad thing. Your body processes glucose in order for it to thrive and function. Right.
But people bastardize that term carbs, and they put the fear of God in people when it comes to eating good carbs.
Yeah.
And they lumped it all together, right?
Oh, completely. And so when I say 75% carbs, there's already going to be a lot of people like, yeah, there's no way I'm going to put weight on.
Right.
No, you've been lied to. It's a lie. The first thing that our body breaks down in food, you know what it is?
Carbs.
Carbs in the mouth. So why wouldn't it be carbs?
Right.
Which is a question.
Right.
Then all you need is 15% fat. And here's the one's going to really blow people away, though, and really make you scratch your head is you only need 10% protein.
10% protein.
10% protein.
People are gonna. This guy don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, and that's the thing. This is a diet that will allow you to supply nutrition, the proper nutrition to your body, allow you to heal, even reverse and overcome disease, and prevent any new disease from coming on.
Okay.
All right. Higher protein, higher fats, that's when you're going to start having more issues. All right. So when I think about the the foods, like you said, you want to focus on the local or
Yes.
organics.
Yes. Local in season. Uh, farmers markets are your best friend.
Yeah. If you can do it,
If you
right?
can do it, right. Not everybody has access to that. And I get that. I get that, right? But you want to try your best.
Yeah. At the end of the day, though, frozen broccoli is better
Better
than
than,
Captain Crunch,
yes.
right?
Frozen broccoli, frozen vegetables. Most areas have it. There's some areas who are food deserts and people have to travel further to get to it. And, I empathize there. You have to do what's best for your body. And if it means traveling a little extra to go get that frozen bag of broccoli, I would do that instead of eating
Captain
Captain
Crunch.
Crunch
Yeah.
because it's close by.
So the number one thing out of there's like I think we identified 10 things.
Okay, so what are
Let's
those
go.
10 things?
Let's go through the things we really should want to eat a lot of. I mean, limit yourself on and then not eat at all.
Okay.
All right. So number one thing that you have to do, you know what it is?
What? Tell
Drink
me.
water.
It's too simple.
It's so simple. It's not easy for people.
Yeah. People like flavor.
Flavored water. Right?
Throw a cucumber in there.
The day you realize that water has flavor and it's so quenching is the day you know you overcome all of the beverages that they pump on you.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that people who are dehydrated, severely dehydrated, don't like the taste of water. But once they start drinking water and they become hydrated, they want that water. Hence, i.e., me and you, right? I don't think I was ever severely dehydrated. I always drank a lot of water. But to this day now, and even our children, we give them so much water that when we go out to restaurants or wherever, what's the first thing they ask for?
Water.
And that's the only thing they want to drink with their meal is water.
Water.
And they like the taste of water.
Water.
Yeah. And I would recommend if you don't like water, you should throw maybe a strawberry or a cucumber in there to enhance the flavor, but nothing else. I wouldn't add anything else to it. But
Yeah.
you should try to get that in.
And
How
that's-
much do you think people should drink?
Yeah, about 64 ounces. Now, as we go through and tell you what else to eat, you're going to get more water from the other items.
Correct.
But yeah, 64 ounces. Before I even leave the house, I drink about 40 ounces.
Right.
That's I take a quick maybe 15, 16 ounce glass. I chug it down. I go work out. I drink probably another 20 ounces during my 45-minute workout. And then before I'm out the door, I drink another 15 or so. So what's that mean? My math is really bad. That's actually more like 50
Right.
ounces.
Right.
Then I carry a 20-ounce bottle to work, and I sip on that throughout the whole day. So that's my 64 ounces.
Right.
Right.
See, I don't do it that way.
Okay.
Because that you have a day set a certain way because you go into the office. Whereas with me, I have my big cup of water that I take with me everywhere I go. When I'm out running errands, when I'm in the house, wherever, I'm taking this cup with me on every floor to get my water in. So I make sure I get my water in, sipping on it all day long.
It's just huge, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about so much because water is number one thing you do is drink water, leave everything else behind.
These are just the little hacks we do to get our water in. So you have to find that hack that works for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drink water.
Drink water.
Just drink water.
Yeah.
All right. So the second thing that people need to eat are starches,
Okay. Like,
the carbohydrates.
you're going to scare people
the
again.
carbohydrates, yeah.
Okay, be more specific really quickly.
Yeah. No, so legumes, the beans, the whole grains, potatoes, squashes, the corns,
Yeah.
that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people think, well, I can't eat potatoes. And this is what's going on right now.
Right.
I don't want to eat potatoes because they're high carb and they're going to make me gain a lot of weight
Or throw my sugars off.
or throw my sugars off. Well, here's what they don't understand is that one, potatoes are full of so many different minerals, vitamins. Two, a lot of fiber. And three, they are very calorie dense,
Right.
right, for the amount of food you get. So you take a big, large potato, You could probably have one during lunch. You're only getting about 200 to 300 calories for that potato.
Okay, so when you say potatoes, we're not talking about French fries, right?
No.
Let's make it clear.
Hash browns, tater tots, no. We're
No,
talking about
and we're not talking about a fully loaded potato with bacon bits and sour cream and butter and oil and stuff, right?
See, that's exactly right. Because when you think about potatoes, people start thinking about, well, I need a baked potato with all the cheese and sour cream and sauces and all that
Right,
stuff.
because we got to make it taste good.
Right.
That's where people get hung up,
Yeah.
and then they end up with this issue. Then they have this blanket statement: "Stay away from carbs."
Yeah. So think about it. Say the average calories is 2,000 calories per day for the average person. Is it possible to even eat about 8 potatoes in a given day?
No.
It'd be very, very difficult. I'm not saying I want to eat that much, but there's no possible way you can eat potatoes as starches
Right.
to gain on weight or to cause all the blood sugar issues because about 20% of your calories to begin with, you got to use in order to burn or digest the food.
Right.
Right? So, yeah, you got to have starches.
Starches. Okay.
All right, that's number one. So as
Okay.
we talk going down this list,
Water.
water is the most you should drink. And you start to kind of slowly, still eat a lot of it, but you want to. It's probably as you go up the just chain here, like a pyramid. It's a little bit less than the water, right? You
Okay.
focus on water, then a bit more starches.
Correct. Okay.
All right. So now
What's next?
veggies.
But what I don't like veggies. Make yourself like it.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things I don't like.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of things you don't like.
Yeah.
You gotta have the decision in yourself. Hey, do I want to go down the path of health or unhealthiness?
All right.
I'm going down the path of healthiness, and veggies are great because I know you like the way you cook them, and I think they're fantastic. So, what are some different ways you can let people know how you should prepare vegetables?
Well, I feel like with every meal, not every meal, every dinner, we have a big salad and get your raw vegetables in. And then next to that, we have the cooked vegetables. And you find the vegetable you like the best. Peas and carrots, yeah, that's good. However, you want to branch out and build your palate and eat other vegetables. Try it. You might like it. Because what you ate when you were 15, you may realize that, oh my gosh, I like broccoli or I like collard greens at 25 or 30 or 35 or 40, right? Incorporate sprouts or incorporate more leafy greens and put it in your salad if you don't like it cooked. But you want to be able to eat a lot of raw vegetables as well as cooked. And I also find for me, I don't like standing over the stove cooking a lot of vegetables, like sauteing it and that sort of stuff, not only because of the oils, but I just don't like standing over the stove like that. I like to roast a lot of my vegetables.
Delicious.
Yeah, so I find like when I roast the vegetables, I find like the kids eat it more, they like it more versus cooking it on the stovetop. Sometimes I do steam some veggies, like the broccoli. My girls like it better that way. But I try to find different ways, different hacks. I do a lot of research online and so forth to find different ways to cook different vegetables. But always have that raw salad as part of your meal and then the cooked on the side. And you don't have to be fancy with your vegetables. You could just steam some broccoli or you could roast some cauliflower and have a salad on the side along with your protein or whatever else can go on your plate. And I also, I think I don't know if we spoke about it on the last podcast, but I also have a jug of unsweetened green tea I keep in the fridge, right?
Yeah. I mean, and that's water based. It kind of goes back to the whole water.
Correct. But it has the antioxidants in that green tea, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So
That is true. That's the only thing we drink is water and green tea.
yeah,
And I was your wing and pizza kind of guy back in the day,
yeah,
and I was like, I don't eat broccoli. Your taste buds can change completely. And I tell
Yes.
you, there's days when you make some vegetables, like my God, those vegetables are so good. I go back for a second and a third, and I clean out the whole dish, but it's so delicious.
yeah. Your taste buds graduate, I think, after eating that way for a while, that you no even longer want the old stuff you used to eat.
Yeah, totally. And then one thing I'll just caution on is eating salads. Don't put on the Kraft ranch dressings and drench it. That defeats the purpose.
Correct.
You want to look for some alternatives that are a little bit more
Correct. If
healthy
you
than
are
that, right?
not It takes 2 seconds to make your own dressing. If you ask me, especially the vinaigrettes, it just takes 2 seconds, right?
Yeah.
And you can find plenty recipes online for free. You don't necessarily need to buy a cookbook unless you have cookbooks that you like. But you can make your own dressings and don't buy the store bought one in the bottles. Now, if you have no choice but to buy the store bought one, look for the one with the least amount of ingredients in it, the least amount of preservatives in it. Because a lot of these bottles have the greenwashing labels on them. And you're fooled into thinking it's healthy, but when you turn it around, look at the label. If it has like 100 ingredients down that could fit on your arm, that's a problem. So
Gosh, you're talking about that, reading labels. I mean, that's another reason why people are confused because people don't know how to read labels. I know
correct,
you work with people that, hey, this is how you read labels, this is what you do to understand if it's actually something you want to pick up and put in your cart.
right.
That's so valuable.
So what else is?
Yeah, so number 4, it's quite simple. It's just eat fruit.
But fruit brings on sugar.
Oh, right, for sugar, again, it's such a reductionist point of view where, like, oh, there's glucose in sugar and fruit. Well, of course there's. It's sweet.
Right.
But then you're missing the whole totality of it all. Things work together. Your body's smart. The food is smart. You eat fruit. There's fiber, and that's what allows your body or to kind of distribute the proper amount of nutrients into your body throughout.
Correct. But you're eating a variety of food, so you're not going to be eating fruits all day long.
No,
It's not
not
like
at
you're
all.
going to be eating strawberries, 5 tubs of strawberries as your only meal for the whole day. That's just not realistic.
Yeah, I mean, have 2, 3 maybe fruits a given day.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
I
you should
take.
be good.
You should be good to go. It's
Yeah.
simple. It's eat fruit.
Yeah.
Eat fruit, and then
Yeah. They make things too complex.
it's way too complex. You don't got to start counting points, doing all this calories, and because at the end of the day, it's so inaccurate anyway.
Right.
Just follow what we're telling you. It just guarantees works. So why does it work? Because it works.
But it worked
Right?
for our ancestors, right? It worked for
Yeah,
back
completely.
years and years and years ago, right?
Yeah,
They went and picked fruit off the tree and ate it. They
Yeah.
didn't think, oh my gosh, how much calories are in this mango?
no, because the mango's a mango, and mangoes are fine with you, right? Yeah, it's completely fine.
Yeah, that's what I did as growing up as a kid. We would pick the mangoes from the tree and just eat it.
Right. Diabetes. I mean, diabetes is a whole newer thing happening in our society. That's
Yeah.
probably a good podcast to talk about diabetes.
Diabetes on next
Yeah, that'd
topic.
be real good. So that's those things that really you should eat a lot
Right.
of, right?
Okay.
Just eat.
Okay.
Just eat.
Okay. Eat the clean
Eat
stuff.
all you want, you know? But the next
I
thing,
think you'll be too full to eat all you want, though. That's the thing.
correct, because you have more calories in a dense amount of foods.
Right.
Yeah, versus you have a little, sauce from your favorite restaurant has 1,000 calories, and then you're done.
Yeah. But then you're still hungry.
You're still hungry.
Gotcha. Okay.
Then the next thing I would say is you will want to expose yourself to more of the cereals, the breads, minimally processed type of foods.
Is
Right?
this
So,
foods that this is foods that you're going to stay away from?
no, you can eat them, but you're not going to eat as much as the fruits and the veggies and the starches.
Okay.
So
To
we're not,
reduce it?
yeah, we're not going to try to starve you, right? So if you have a bowl of granola, great, right? That'll be okay. If you're gonna have some bread, it ain't gonna kill you if you have bread,
But
right?
that goes back to reading the label.
Going back to label, even if you do go out to the restaurant, which you gotta be
Okay.
careful of as well. Okay, so is that one piece of bread in the given week gonna really hurt you?
No.
No, it's the constant bread and overindulgent every single day of the bad stuff at the restaurants or the stores, which get people.
Right.
It's the consistent behavior here. With this, if you get in the habit of eating the starches, drink water, your fruits and your vegetables, and consistently do it, what happens? Well, no, yeah, you're gonna you're gonna start feeling a lot better, a lot more alive and healthier. If I eat at McDonald's every single day, consistently, what's gonna happen? So all you do is flip the script on you. I mean, more healthier,
Okay.
and your body realize it and won't need as much.
This is just too simple.
It's simple. It's simple, but there's a whole, and again, you can have a whole other podcast we can go down. So so you can actually eat the cereals and stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. What's next?
So next thing that you want to eat, but just not as much of, are the higher fat plant foods.
Such as?
So like nuts,
Right.
seeds, olives, avocados, nut butters. And I think the best way to think about this is that you don't want a bag of pistachios watching your favorite Netflix show and just pop them into your mouth the whole time.
Because you're thinking it's healthy. I'm not munching on chips.
Right. Yeah. They're munching
It's
away.
still high fat.
It's all high fat. Fat is still fat. And there's a better fats than other fats. And you do need fats in your diet for your body to make certain things or hormones to function properly. But so the way I look at this, so like I love avocado. I don't go just get avocado, eat avocado. It has to be part of the dish.
Okay.
You follow me?
Yeah.
So if it's part of the dish, then fantastic.
Right.
Pumpkin seeds, a little bit in salad, great.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So very, very simple. Just again, it's just realizing that because they claim, I don't know what, coconut oil, olive oil is healthier. Oh, got a good story. And my neighbor, we went for a hike. And, I don't always talk about this stuff, but people bring it up. I'll talk a little bit about it, especially people I know. And he's like, "Yeah, man, I actually cut out a whole bunch of oils from my diet and everything else. That's great, Josh. That's fantastic." And he's like, "Well, tell me though, how about olive oil?" So, Josh, it's still oil and it's still fat.
Oil is oil.
It's still oil, it's still fat. Yeah. So you got to be careful of that.
Yeah. You got to reduce that as much as possible. Just because it's not on the bad seed oil list, it's still an oil.
Still oil.
So you still have to use it sparingly.
Well, think about this. So when you think about oil, typically, I'll just say it's 120 calories per tablespoon. Let's say each day you have 3 tablespoons. That's 3 times 120 per tablespoon is 360 calories extra per day.
Wow.
Okay? Let's times that by 10. What's that?
360 by 10, 3,006.
3,600.
Right.
Do you know how much a pound of fat, of calories is a pound of fat?
No.
About 3,500 to 3,600 calories. So just in 10 days, 3 extra tablespoons, you gained a pound of fat. How many days are there in a month?
30 to 31.
30, 31. So let's times the 10 by 3. So now you put on 3 pounds in
A month.
1 month. But see, that doesn't stop there, does it? Because we get into our daily lives. Let's go for the whole year.
Yeah, that's why you see people putting on weight each year and they can't understand where it's coming from.
Exactly. So to by example, so that's 3 pounds in a given month times by 12 is 36 pounds of extra fat a year.
Wow.
Exactly. It's pretty
Wow.
profound. Again,
Wow.
simple, just blinded to what's actually right there in front of you.
Right. That's part of the confusion out there too.
A lot of confusion. And as we talk about this, you see, you start realizing, wow. There's so many different truth bombs that are out there that we can talk about.
Yeah. So what's next?
So here's one that, as we're talking about this, what have you not heard anything about?
Animal protein.
Anything animals, right? So they're like, oh, eat more fruits and vegetables. Everybody says that, the diet, your veganism.
No.
No, I'm not talking about being a veganism. I'm talking about as you scale up, you eat the most of those, and as we're kind of talking into this podcast, you want to eat less of what we're talking about.
Yeah, not cut it out. Just
No.
cut it down.
Yeah, so you don't need as much meat as people are eating in the United States.
Right.
Some people eat meat every single meal, and for protein, well, I can tell you, if I look at them, they're not protein deficient. So I think you probably have a little too much protein. And there is great evidence and suggestions that show that animal protein is the leading cause of the heart disease
Right.
and cancers.
Right.
Different podcasts for this time.
Right.
So when you think about animal products, limit it to about 2 or 3 times a week,
Right.
right? Versus 2, 3 times a day.
Yeah. Even going back to the ancestors, when they ate protein, they probably ate it, but not as indulgently as we do today, because they would have to hunt for that protein, right? And they have to make it last. And they probably ate the potatoes in the ground and the vegetables they grew and the nuts and so forth, and not the animals. They ate the animals, but probably not as much as we think.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It suggests that they would actually have the animals for winter because
Right.
they can't go out and hunt.
Right.
They're not eating. The bison, during the summertime, we got all these fruits and vegetables where they may live in the country.
Yeah, and they didn't have refrigeration too, so it's like they
Yeah.
would eat it, but they would probably share it amongst their community because the family was the focus, right? It was just a natural progression of life. But anyway,
No, that's huge because really it's fresh food.
right,
It's fresh, it's organic, and
right.
what also, it was all wild caught.
Yeah, yeah,
And I know you want to eat my bicep, all right? But if it's full of growth hormones, it's not great,
right,
right? If you want to eat fish that is wild caught, not farm raised.
right,
So yeah, so that's any kind of animal product, where it's beef, pork, chicken, turkey, the healthy white meats, right? Or even fish.
right.
You want to limit it to 2 or 3 times, not a whole plate full, but of servings a given week.
Yeah, it's more treated like a condiment than the main part of your dish, your plate. Sorry.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it.
Yeah,
So so again, water you want to have the most of, starches, veggies, fruits. Start to eat less and less and less up to the little point where you actually talk about meats.
okay.
Okay. So now the next thing is everybody's favorite:
Treats,
treats,
cake,
cakes, and
cookies.
pie,
And guys, I
ice
love
cream.
to bake.
ice cream, bake. Yeah, right. So when I say treats, it's the common processed treats that are out there today. Go to restaurants, grocery stores,
Starbucks,
Starbucks. Oh my gosh, that's bad. Those drinks. But yeah, that stuff
Frappuccinos,
there. Limit treats to when they really should be considered treats. That's on
special
special.
occasions
Yeah,
like your birthday,
birthday,
Christmas.
Christmas.
Yeah, not once a month, once in a while.
And the end of the week is not a special day.
No, the end of the week is not a special day. You had an argument with your spouse is not a special day of deserving a treat. It's not.
No. So yeah, so that's the hardest one probably people would have even over the meat. It's being able to have that self-control and discipline to not indulge on treats.
Yeah, people they see social media too, and people indulge on things, and this modern lifestyle, everybody around you is indulgent, so you decide to do the same.
Yeah.
I've been guilty of that, and it's like you have to stop because then you're going down this path where
Yeah.
it's going to hurt you. So
Got two paths, the left one and the right one,
that's true.
right?
That's true.
So yeah, so that's treats, and if you kind of think about what we talked about, it's like a little pyramid, right? Water up to treats, very very little water. Drink as much as you possibly can.
Okay.
It's good for you.
Okay.
Now, there's things that you just want, especially if you have heart disease, diabetes, you're got some kind of ailment that you've been diagnosed with. In order to go the natural path and not go towards the medication path or the surgical path, the medical intervention, if you will, there's a couple things that you just need to eliminate from the diet.
Okay.
All right. Thing number one is oils.
Okay.
We talked about oils.
Yes. The seed oils especially.
Yeah. A lot of inflammation in the body.
Yes.
Added extra fat.
Yes.
Fat causes a lot of problems when it comes to heart disease, diabetes, insulin resistance, and even cancers. Those are the top 3 things that are causing death currently in the United States. The next one, you know what it is? Problems from the medical system that causes people to die.
Really.
Drug interactions, mishaps at the hospital.
I've seen it with my own eyes.
It is. They don't want to talk about it, but that's definitely true. And
I've
it's probably
seen
going
it.
to be even higher up now.
Yeah, I've seen it with my own eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, that's another podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah, the thing is like you just want to eliminate oils.
So a lot of people are confused by that too. It's like, well, what oils? There's oils in everything. When you go
Yeah.
to the grocery store and you look at bread and you flip over that package, there's oils in a lot of bread. Soybean oil, vegetable oil, it's oil. And it's very, very hard to find something without oil in it. So what do people do?
Got to be practical about the situation
Right.
because you can't go to the grocery store and get anything without oil. It seems
Correct.
like, right? So we talk about home prepared foods, organic, what have you.
There's a lot of foods out there that don't have it, but you have to go search for it, and it may not taste the way you want at first, but then when you get used to it, right? Such as the Ezekiel bread, it doesn't have oil in it.
That's one
The
exactly the
soybean
way.
oil, right?
That's a progression.
Right.
I mean, that's hard for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I think just be practical. The number one thing you can do is stop cooking with it and adding stuff into it at home. Stop using the oils to fry chicken. Stop using the oils to stir fry your vegetables. Stop using the oils. In fact, get oils out of your pantry.
Right.
Once you begin to heal and you overcome diseases, kind of going back to the truth, a little bit of oil there won't hurt you. But guess what? You know what happens? Slowly but surely, you start to lose that desire for the oil.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
That is true. That is true.
Yeah. So it's just making a decision again.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing you should eliminate completely. The other one, and this this is another one that's hard for people. You gotta eliminate dairy.
No cheese. No ice cream.
Cheese, please. Extra cheese.
No butter. People argue butter is good for you.
Yeah. I mean, there's an escalation again. However, we're talking about healing your body. Put no cheese into it. The dairy from again growth hormones, the casein proteins are linked to cancers growing, to the heart disease.
So if somebody gets cheese that has organic and is purely done, but it's
It's
comes
fat. It's fat.
he's shooting me down right away.
It's just fat. No, it's just fat. Cheese used to please me, and that's my number one enemy. It's fat. In fact, there is strong evidence that shows that just the proteins within the casein proteins, the animal proteins in that, mimic proteins in your body, which can be contributed to people developing type 1 diabetes.
Wow.
Yeah, so why play around? Leaky guts,
Right.
things get into your body. The
Right.
body don't like it, immune system, a lot of inflammation. Don't play with cheese. I can tell you, I have bad experiences. Hot, right?
Ugh.
Mucus,
Gross.
inflammation. Yeah, it is.
But that doesn't give people pass to say, let me go for the vegan cheeses either, because those are filled with oils too.
Feels oils. Good alternative to transition to get off of stuff. Like, do I still eat vegan cheese or non-dairy cheese? I do.
But not often.
Not often.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So that is the meals or the food, the diet plan. I hate to call it diet, but that's the structure of your
How you
meals,
should
what they
eat.
should look like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of hit upon it. It's really better to eat at home and plan your meals.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. It is better to plan out your meals, and how that will look like is you've kind of researched what you want to eat for the week, right? And if you have picky eaters, which in your household, which a lot of us do, right? I have my girls choose, everybody gets to choose a meal that week, what they want. And so, Monday you choose, Tuesday she chooses, Wednesday this one chooses. And then I try to plan for those meals, and I make a grocery list, and I go out, get what I need to get. And I meal prep it one day out the week, and we have it there to eat for the rest of the week.
I mean, it's just so intelligent too. Not only to get more buy-in with the meals that we're making, and it is what we make.
Yeah.
And if I eat your meal,
You're going to eat mine.
you eat my meal.
But it expands their palate, right? Even though, if, one doesn't like mushrooms, but guess what? You're eating it because big sister ate your pinto beans burritos, right? There's a big argument in the household, right? But anyway, but it teaches them it exposes them to other food groups and not just become tunnel vision when it comes to eating only certain things. But it gives them the nutrients, the diversity of nutrients that they need. And it teaches them, it kind of gives them an idea of how we meal plan. And it's not all centered around you only. It's like we have to give and take. It's a big lesson in the meal planning, I feel.
It's huge. Meal planning, you got to plan your meals out. And that's one of the objectives, like time. Well, how you save time? By planning stuff out.
I plan my stuff out. And what that looks like on a day-to-day basis, like I said, everybody gets to choose. But if you don't have picky eaters in your household, good for you. You could plan out what you want, and you could say, you know what, I'm going to do a bean bowl, or I'm going to do like a gluten-free pasta with fresh tomatoes, right? And so forth. And you get those ingredients for that dish, and you try to use the whatever ingredients in other dishes, so you're not having to run to the grocery store and buy a plethora of groceries and then just to use a little bit of that one item and throw it out. Or
So I hear like kitchen skills, and that's something like, again, you kind of help people with is kind of develop those skills and perspectives and
yeah,
tools you need in order to plan properly to
right,
throughout the whole week, right?
right, right.
Okay, so that's to overcome the whole time. Another, I think, complaint or people want to object to is the fact that their lifestyle is always on the
On go.
go,
Meal
right? And
plan.
yeah, so meal plan for the
Meal
if
plan.
you're able to make and take lunches, but if you can't, you're not that type of person, then it really comes down to learn more skills and be able to know how to order food from restaurants,
Right,
right?
right,
Or if you go to like a social event.
right. Little tips. It's like eat before you go. So this way you don't have to, show up and you're not sure what the menu has, or the menu doesn't have what you can eat. Eat before you go. So then you order something very small or something very simple off the menu that you can have, but you're not starving, right? Or you can call, if you're going to a dinner party at somebody's house, call the host and offer to bring something that you can eat and you can share with everyone, or see if depending on the type of friendship you have, see if they're willing to accommodate you, right?
Oh,
But it's a give and take, right? So there's different hacks, the different tips you can do while you eat this way.
yeah. Well, I won't even call them hacks. I mean, it's like a cool way. I call stuff hacks, but really, it's just a whole new way of looking at things, perspective,
How you eat.
and how you eat.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle. It's how you eat. This is
Yeah,
how I eat now. And when you call the host and say, "Hey, this is how I eat now," a lot of times people are very friendly about it and they will try to accommodate you. But if they are not willing to accommodate, you offer to bring something that you can share with everyone.
yeah.
And people are grateful for that, in my opinion. They're like, "Yeah, sure, bring it. Bring a big salad. Yeah,
And you can still have a good time.
yeah."
It's not that big of a deal.
It's not a big of a deal. And then if you're still unsure, eat something before you go. Eat something at your house before you go, and show up with the salad.
Yeah. So hopefully those last three things will help you out as you move towards this really healthy diet to reverse disease and feel good.
Right.
Because when you do, I know for myself, my taste buds changed. The flavor of foods, my God, it came pouring in. I never knew that bok choy would taste so good, and Brussels sprouts and everything mixed together. I mean, it's amazing how they just, and even like when I was drinking iced tea, no more sugar in it. I can actually
Let's
feel and
taste the
taste
tea.
the flavor of it
Yeah.
all.
I think last night we made mushrooms and
Oh man, so
what's
good.
the leeks? Mushrooms and leeks, just lightly sauteed in vegetable broth, and the kids ate it up. I was surprised.
Yeah, well, it's the thing. It tastes good. And you want to. I mean, you crave like asparagus, but you also. I just feel so much lighter inside.
Right.
And what have you experienced about this transformation of consistently eating the diet we're eating now?
I feel very good. I have energy to exercise consistently. I am not as tired. I can go, 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 go. I am not laid up on the sofa feeling tired. Um, I feel like my skin has cleared up. I still have the vitiligo issue, but in terms of my skin, the clarity of it is there, and my hair has been growing in fuller.
Yeah,
It's just like it's a complete. I feel completely different.
it's awesome.
Yeah, and it speaks volumes, especially when you have so much to do in a given day. You don't want to be so tired that you can't take your kids to activities.
Right.
You
Yep.
can't, cook dinner or do whatever, right? I have the energy to do all of these things and more.
The thing that changes profound. It didn't really take much time to reverse course. Sometimes I see people just start feeling better in as little as a few days, but
Yes.
couple weeks. It's amazing what it can do when you eat this optimal diet to fuel your body with a proper nutrition.
And then everything else will fall into place, right? So your cholesterol will come down, right? Your
Yeah,
blood pressure will come down,
down,
right? Your blood sugars will balance themselves
balance,
out, right?
start losing weight,
You start losing weight.
gaining energy.
Yeah.
Don't eat as much.
Feeling good, looking good,
Yeah.
everything. And then it changes your internal perspective of how you see everything else around you. You become more positive, I
Yeah.
feel.
Oh, completely. Oh, your mood changes, the way you think changes.
Yeah.
So, my gosh. Well, that is what I think what we accomplished. Wanted to accomplish today was outlining the way you should eat.
Okay.
So, With that being said, I mean, I think we have a lot of different podcasts we can go down.
So
So
much.
many, there's so much to talk about. So, with that being said, thanks for joining us.
Until next time, be well.
Be well.